Hi, I'm Forrest. I'm an inner child coach and a healer, and I want to be your friend. As your friend, I have a message for you that just might bring you more enjoyment and freedom into your life. So here we go. Today, we're talking about authenticity, being your true self, even when it feels weird or uncomfortable or scary. But Forrest, why be authentic when it feels uncomfortable and scary and it gives me anxiety? What's the point? Who cares? Well, let me tell you. Being authentic, being really true to yourself, it builds trust and confidence with yourself. It's going to change the way that you experience your entire world. When you're navigating the world with trust and confidence, the experience becomes a lot more enjoyable and you just feel more free. It is impossible to be your authentic true self without being vulnerable and without being courageous. So, what happens when you're vulnerable and you're courageous is that you're going to start attracting different people and repelling different people. And so I've noticed for me in the past, what keeps me from being my true self, especially if I'm in like a social setting that I'm not familiar with or something, is that I'm fearing being judged by others. Like, what will they say? I want people to like me, and so I'm gonna do the things that I think are like socially acceptable or whatever. So really, when I'm in this pattern, I notice that I'm acting in a way that I perceive people's feedback will be in the future. Like, I don't even know what they think. I don't even know these people sometimes. But I'm already anticipating their feedback and I'm acting accordingly. And so when I'm doing that and I'm not listening to my own voice, when the voice of other people is louder and navigating my experience, it's actually just a performance. And I know about performances because I've been a closeted trans person for like 24 years, okay? So I think I might just be an expert at performing. And so, yeah, you listen to your own voice and you do what makes you feel good, do what makes you feel happy. I don't know about you, but I'm like super duper goofy and silly and like a snuggle bug. And like, those things make me the happiest. And maybe it goes against some kind of social norms or expectations, but here's the thing. When I'm living according to what I want, I'm not performing anymore for other people. And that will repel some people. Like, the more authentic that you can be, the more that you're actually going to push some people away. Because even when you're performing, there are so many humans on this planet, and they're all so different from each other. It's impossible to please literally every single person. There's going to be somebody that always has an issue with you no matter what. So why not please yourself? And in my journey, what I have found when I am being myself, yeah, not everybody likes it. Some people hate it, but that's really not my problem. The people that do like it though, those are my people. And like the relationships, the quality of relationships that I've had since I've started this journey of just like freeing myself from the voices inside my head that really aren't mine, I have had the deepest relationships I've ever had. Like, life is so much better when I truly feel like I'm connecting to people and I don't have this anxiety of like, oh, what will they think? What will they think? What will they think? And so those people who do care what I do, when they judge me, they're no longer in my life right now because I repel them away. I don't have space for them and they don't have space for me. And it's honestly better that way. Trust me, it's so good. So here's the thing. If you're being weird, you're being authentic. Your authenticity, you being your real weird self, is the biggest gift that you can give to yourself, but also to the world. It's such a gift to yourself because you're building trust with yourself. You're not betraying your desires and your needs in order to please other people. When you're putting yourself first, you're acting in alignment with like how you feel on the inside, and that actually builds trust with yourself. And not only that, but you also feel more powerful because the longer that you do this, the more and more confident you will feel. It might feel weird or scary or all the things at first. Like, I'm still navigating this myself, and there are always going to be times when something feels out of your comfort zone. But the more that you practice expanding your comfort zone, your zone of confidence is going to grow, and it's just going to be a whole different human experience. When you have more confidence, you can navigate so many situations that you have never navigated before and feel that much more comfortable doing so. The weirder that you get and the more used to being weird that you are, like, it's just gonna become more and more effortless until you truly feel free. Like maybe you even hear the voices in your head that don't belong to you, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's not the one that matters the most. Mine is. Let me practice right now. And it just gets easier and easier with time. And guess what? If you're 27 like me, or if you're a quarter into your life or whatever, even if you're like in your 60s, you still got so much time. And like, practice makes perfect, right? So there's so much time to make your life more enjoyable by practicing this. And the best thing is that when you give permission to yourself to be your true self, you've got nothing to hide. You actually give permission to other people too. Because when people are following all the same set of rules, or when they have the same thoughts of like, oh, will people think this is weird? Is this too much? When they see you being weird, it actually gives them permission to be their own kind of weird. And like, my weird's gonna look different than your weird's gonna look different than her weird, right? Like, people are weird in different flavors. But the more that we all step into our own weirdness, like, there are ripple effects, and the world is just gonna get weirder and so much more enjoyable and delicious. I don't know about you, but what people consider normal is, I guess, like average and like the same. It's like consistent and predictable, and honestly it's kind of boring to me. So the weirder the better, honestly. Life is just more fun. Okay, so maybe you're like, okay, Boris, you're speaking to me. I get what you're saying. How can I get into this game? Well, let me tell you. You just gotta meet yourself where you're at, right? It's a practice. So you can practice as often as you want to. The more frequently you practice, the more results that you're gonna get. But here's the thing. Especially if you're practicing every day or even 4 times a week or something, you don't want to stretch yourself too far too fast, right? We're not trying to jump off the diving board. We just want to dip our toe into the water. Because when I dip my toe in the water, it's going to look a little different than when you dip your toe in the water than how she dips her toe in the water. Everybody's toe in the water is according to their life experiences, right? So like me 2 years ago, dipping my toe in the water, practicing being authentic was like taking my digestive bitters, I don't have them on me to show you, was taking my digestive bitters before I ate food in front of people. Before, I was too embarrassed to take my digestive bitters in front of people. Who knows why? I don't know. It seems kind of silly now thinking about it, but that's just where I was 2 years ago, and that's totally okay. But right now, dipping my toe in the water would look like, I don't know, making weird animal sounds in front of someone that I just met. It's just going to be different, and wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. And if you're looking to expand that, here are some practices that you can do. I practice this so often, and I'll even give you an example of it. But the practice is, excuse me, when you notice yourself being defensive, or if you notice that you're conforming and you're like, oh, this isn't actually something I want to be doing right now. Or if you notice that you're dismissing yourself or judging yourself, what I do that works for me, that you could also try if you are interested, is ask yourself, what age is this? Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I was singing karaoke the other day with my friends, who I live with. Like, we're so close. There's 10 of us that live together, right? So we were just like singing karaoke in the basement. And I found myself being so shy and so nervous. I was feeling insecure about my voice, and I was like, oh, I have to practice before I go down there because it needs to be perfect, or else. And I was like, wait, or else what? My friends are going to abandon me if I don't sing perfectly? So I just noticed, I was like, who is speaking right now? It's not 27-year-old Forrest. It's like 7-year-old Forrest that maybe learned that like I had to be perfect in order to get approval from my parents, or maybe I had to get good grades, or maybe there was high expectations set on me, or, you know, there's usually an age in life where you learn something about, oh, actually, I shouldn't do this because I'm taking up too much space, or, oh, it's inappropriate for me to have emotions because they're inconvenient for other people. There's usually an age where you learn this, and so just ask yourself, what age is coming out right now? Where are these thoughts coming from? And what does that person need? So in my case the other day, I just like looked myself in the mirror and I was like, listen, Forrest, I see that you're scared and that you want to be held unconditionally, no matter how you sing, no matter who you are, no matter how you perform. You just want friendship and closeness. And so I saw that I had fear. I had a need for intimacy. And what I needed in that moment to get those things was to love myself and to encourage myself. And so I told myself in the mirror, I was like, listen, this makes so much sense because you learned this from all this ancestral trauma, blah, blah, blah. People modeled this for you in your life that you had to be perfect in order to get approval or love or attention. And so I told myself, I was like, watch. It's okay that you're scared, but just watch. You can go down there and do your worst on purpose. And you'll see that everybody is still encouraging you and having a good time. It's not about the performance, it's about the experience. And the more that you let go of what other people think, the more you're gonna have a good time, and people won't even notice that you're nervous up there. Like, they're gonna be having a good time with you. I hope this message has been resourceful for you, inspiring, and I hope that you experience more enjoyment and more freedom in your life. Because I don't know about you, but like, probably I'm not gonna live to be 100, and I'm already like a quarter of the way through my life, right? So it's like, I'm thinking about being on my deathbed and thinking like about all my regrets and stuff. And that kind of motivates me to just enjoy the experience because I'm here right now. Who knows? Who knows when I'll be back here experiencing the human experience? Life is short. Let's just enjoy it, y'all. Let's make it weird. Let's get weird together. If you're in the Berkeley, California area and you want to hang out with the weirdo, I love getting weird. Let's get weird together. Remember, you are perfect as you are. I love you. Your light is a gift to the world. You don't need to dim it for anybody else. You shine on.